You ever sit in a car with someone and suddenly realize they don't love you, don't respect you, don't even see you as family? I was sitting in the passenger seat, holding a plastic bag with my mother's belongings, her bracelet, a folded scarf, and a purse she carried everywhere. She had died an hour ago, and the first words my brother said were, "Ayla, did Mom have any cash on her? My kid needs food." That's when I knew this man was never my brother. He was a storm, and my parents created him. But my mother, oh, she had left behind a storm of her own, a revenge from beyond the grave. If you've ever been used, manipulated, or treated like you were invisible, stay with me. This isn't just a revenge story. It's a story of a mother's last stand and the lesson that destroyed an entitled man's life. Like the video if you believe karma always comes around, and subscribe for more stories like this. Now, let me take you back to where it started. Growing up, our house was divided long before we realized it. My parents, Mark and Elena, were loving people, but they lived inside an old tradition, the kind that whispers, "Sons are pride, daughters are burdens." And so, my brother Ryan became the son of the house. He got the new shoes. He got the big room. He got the last piece of cake. He got the attention, the praise, the future everyone bragged about. Me? I was the good girl, the quiet one, the helper. And I remember I was 8 when the first crack in my heart formed. Mom was folding laundry. Ryan burst into the room crying, "Mom, Ayla ruined my drawing. She walked on it." It was a lie, a big lie. I hadn't even been in his room. Mom didn't ask questions. She just snapped at me. "Ayla, why can't you ever be careful? Say sorry to your brother." I whispered, "Sorry." And Ryan walked away smirking. From that day onward, I realized something. In our house, truth didn't matter. Ryan mattered. My parents paid for Ryan's entire life. College tuition, dorm, food, books, a car, even his laundry money. All he had to do was say "Mom" or "Dad" in the right tone, and $100 magically appeared. But there was something darker. Ryan only visited home to take, not to love, not to talk, not to see us, only to withdraw. My dad once joked, "Ryan treats us like an ATM." But it wasn't a joke. Not anymore. Ryan met Tessa, a woman who was 5 months pregnant with another man's child. And when Ryan told my parents he wanted to quit college to help raise the baby, my father lost it. "Over my dead body," Dad said. "If you quit, you pay back every penny." For the first time in his life, Ryan heard the word no. And Ryan did what Ryan always did. He made himself the victim. He moved out, started a low-end retail job, married Tessa, adopted her baby, K1, had another kid, K2, later. And then he came crawling back. Not to reconnect, but to borrow money. Always money. He used his kids as sympathy cards. "Mom, my child needs school supplies." "Dad, I can't afford rent. Help me." "Ayla, can you give me something? You don't have kids. You wouldn't understand." Every time, every call, every visit, he didn't ask how my parents were. He asked, "Can you give me cash?" My father, Mark, was diagnosed with stomach cancer. 3 months. That's all he had. For those 3 months, I watched my father shrink, physically and emotionally. And Ryan? He still only came by to ask for money. Not to hug our father, not to check on him, not to say, I love you, just to take. Dad once whispered to me, Ayla, I raised a monster. It broke him. I saw it. When Dad passed away, Ryan's first words to my mother were not, how are you holding up? Are you? I froze. Mom, with your health, you won't qualify. She winked. I know. Just let Ryan know, but only when the time is right. I didn't understand. Not then, but I would. My mom died 4 weeks later. A heart attack, a stroke, grief, stress, a lifetime of being drained by a son who saw her as a bank. When she died, I wasn't just heartbroken, I was empty. Ryan showed up at the hospital, not crying, not shaking, not broken. He looked irritated, as if this was another inconvenience in his life. When I took her belongings and walked to his car, the sun was setting. The world was quiet. And then he asked the most heartless question I had ever heard. Ayla, did Mom have any money in her purse? My mom died 4 weeks later. A heart attack, a stroke, grief, stress, a lifetime of being drained by a son who saw her as a bank. When she died, I wasn't just heartbroken, I was empty. Ryan showed up at the hospital, not crying, not shaking, not broken. He looked irritated, as if this was another inconvenience in his life. When I took her belongings and walked to his car, the sun was setting. The world was quiet. And then he asked the most heartless question I had ever heard. Ayla, did Mom have any money in her purse? I almost opened the car door and threw myself out, but I didn't. I reached into Mom's purse, found a $20 bill, and hurled it at him. He didn't even say thanks. He just asked, did Mom have life insurance? And suddenly, Mom's smile flashed in my mind. Her wink, her words, let Ryan know when the time is right. And I knew the time was right now. Yes, I said. She applied for $500,000. Ryan went silent, but I swear I heard his brain calculating vacations, cars, new furniture, spending money he didn't. 1 month later, a letter arrived, addressed to Mom. It was from the insurance company. I opened it. We regret to inform you, she did not qualify. Exactly as expected, and exactly as she planned. Mom had created a ghost of hope, a fake future for the son who used her. I called Ryan. Ryan, it's a regrets letter. She didn't qualify. He exploded. What? What about my kid? Ayla, I can't pay rent. How could she do this to me? Then Tessa grabbed the phone and screamed, you did this. You just want all the money. You're jealous because you can't have kids. You stole our future. I hung up. Later, the executor told me something that made me sit down. The insurance guy, Dad's friend, he was in on Mom's plan the entire time. Ryan believed the policy was real. He spent money he didn't have. He racked up $40,000 in debt because he thought he had a jackpot coming. But all he had was karma. It wasn't petty. It wasn't cruel. It was a mother's last lesson. When Ryan found out he owed thousands he couldn't pay, he panicked. He called friends. He begged coworkers. He screamed at Tessa. He blamed me. He blamed the world. But never once did he blame himself. He never realized that Mom didn't owe him anything. If anything, he owed her everything. He ended up losing his apartment for a few months, slept on a friend's couch, kept blaming me for a policy that never existed. And that's when it hit me. Mom didn't punish him out of hatred. She punished him because she wanted him to wake up, to grow up, to see the consequences of living like a leech. He never did, but I saw something else. Mom's eyes in my memories, the way she held my hand before she died and whispered, "Ayla, you'll be okay." She didn't say Ryan will be okay, because she already knew. He wouldn't be. He didn't.
Sometimes revenge isn't fireworks. Sometimes it's not violent. It's not loud. Sometimes revenge is quiet, calculated. A mirror held up to someone who refuses to see themselves. Ryan wanted money. Mom gave him lesson. Ryan wanted comfort. Mom gave him accountability. Ryan wanted to be the sun. Mom left him in the dark with the mess he created. And me? I realized something. Not every villain wears a mask. Some wear your last name. I don't hate my brother. I don't wish him harm, but I do wish he had loved our parents the way he loved their money. I wish he had looked at family as people, not wallets. And sometimes, when I think of Mom's wink, her little smile, I realize she wasn't being petty. She was being poetic. Karma wrapped in a life insurance envelope.
If this story hit your heart, if you've ever dealt with a selfish family member or watched someone take advantage of the people you love, hit that like button, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for more true Reddit revenge stories.